I love the like anything but clothes party. To me, that is when I go, I know this world.
It's like a frat party and
anything but clothes.
Have you been to one? Yeah.
Oh, Jen, we're old. Are we podcasting, Jenny?
Are we podcasting, Kristin?
We are.
Let's talk about, you guys go follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
The socials.
Any YouTube, all that stuff. And rate, review, and subscribe. It helps us. We really appreciate it. We get your messages and stuff like that. And we love
Super
it. We
fun.
don't always respond. But
also, we're on tour. We're going back on the road in October. Lots of shows. Go to IMOMSOHARD.com. Buy your tickets. We can't wait. That's super fun.
We got to email everybody too. We got to email them and let them know that we're going back on tour. So that's on our list.
Mail,
of
like actual mail. I'm going to mail everybody a postcard.
You know what I don't do? Make eye contact with my husband when he speaks. I'm such an asshole. He's like, I feel like you just go back to your phone, and I'm like, you have a complaint. I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like I can do both, but it's so rude.
To what? Try to email from your phone while somebody's talking to you?
Yes.
I know it's just something we do, but let this be known, and to women everywhere, because we do this, there is no such thing as multitasking, which I learned because we researched it on this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Your brain goes, I'm going to do this thing, and then your brain goes, I'm going to do this thing. You cannot do two things at the same time. Now, somebody needs to tell a mom that but
she's
going to
try.
But just know.
She has to try.
Well, it just means you're doing a lot of things in a row.
Right.
But don't think that you have to do things at the same time, because your brain can't.
Right.
So it's okay for you to be like, husband, I'm not going to look at you in the eyes right now because I'm going to finish this email that I started. And then you're just going to, and then I'm going to come up to you and I'm going to give you my full attention, one thing at a time.
Yeah,
right?
I got to get better at
because
that.
I will convince myself I can do a lot of things at the same time. But because of my heavy dose of attention deficit disorder, I enjoy doing a lot of things, starting them and finishing none of them.
Well, I don't have attention deficit disorder. I have an attention deficit, I would say, because if I'm focusing on one thing, I can't really.
You're not supposed to, but that's just us giving you moms out there that are listening a break.
I feel at the end of the day, which is when I watch all my murder shows, but I'm like, I feel at the end of the day like, well, husband, you get why I'm not paying attention to you. You're as tired as I am, right? And it's like, we're just get on the expressway to divorce, Smedley. That's what you're doing.
Oh, come on, man. Sometimes I think it's them. My husband has been talking about the most boring crap lately. I'm like, am I supposed to stay on board with this? We were in the car.
Like gerrymandering again?
Yes.
Okay.
Or we're in the car and he's talking about I don't know, how abbreviations became a thing. And I'm in the car like, someone kill me. And my kids are like, they can't even pretend like they care. And I don't blame them. I'm like, first of all, you're talking so slowly.
How did they become a thing?
I don't know. I didn't listen because I was like,
Great. Now I got to look that up and ignore my husband.
Literally the other day, I was, by the way, PMSing, what's up? And
what is up?
What is up? My doctor's like,
you're going backwards.
I'm going backwards. My doctor was like, you got to come in for a
Kristin
scan.
got her period again. But honestly, if anybody in the universe is going to go through puberty twice, it's going to be Kristin.
It's going to be me.
Yeah.
So I was like raging. And at one point I was like, why are we talking about that? Are we old now? Is that what we're talking about? I can't remember what he was talking about. It was like something so boring, like probably like insoles to your shoes or something. And I was like, I'm done, man. I don't want to go. I don't want to, not yet.
My husband and I are getting so old and so boring that we were at a picnic the other day and he goes, did you see how great that produce looks? They had catered. Did you see how great that produce looks? And I was like, fuck, what are you, 95 years old or something?
But Jen was like, yes, I did actually. I really did.
go over and I was like, you know what? My apologies. It's very impressive produce. The reddest tomatoes you've ever seen. Like the crisp lettuce. How did they transport that? It stayed so crisp. It was crazy.
I hear you and I want to say yes and I want to yes and this, but there's a part of me that's like,
be cool.
Don't go into the darkness.
No,
not
I know.
yet.
I know, but
my husband and I literally, I was like, I went to the grocery store and they wanted $26 for 2 chicken breasts. And I was like, I will see you later.
Yeah.
We were at Gelson's fancy shopping.
Oh, geez.
And my arms were crossed.
Yeah.
And I had a tone and I was like, get out of the light. It's going to pull you in.
Again.
You're going into the light of oldness.
My personal economics are stuck 20 years ago. I go into the grocery store
I'm
these
shocked
days
all
and I
the
go,
time.
$5 for a bag of chips, you can go fuck yourself.
I know, right?
Fuck yourself
I
right
look
up,
at
man.
gas per gallon, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I know. I don't want to do it, but I'm really getting pulled into those vortexes.
We get the electric car. It's like $6 for like 150 miles.
I know, it's crazy. It's good.
Man,
it's really
great.
good.
I was like, that's all I need. See, if he talks about money saving, money making stuff before bed,
Nobody
that's a
that's
tanny
young
peeler.
is talking about that in a cool way. They're assholes and
talking about?
they're humping each other. They're all trying to hump each other.
Their dirty talk is humping.
All anybody wants to do under the age
get
of
on the
30
dance floor.
is get on the dance floor with
And
the
then
chance
go
that it's
do
going to
it
end up a
without your
makeout
clothes
session.
on. Yeah. I get it.
They're all just trying not to hump everybody.
I forgot.
And
I forgot what it was.
do you remember
like.
what that was like? Like being like
I forgot
single
what that
and
was
going
like.
into a bar and being like,
Feeling
who
that,
knows?
Feeling that energy in your upper stomach, lower chest.
Yeah,
like
somebody like checks
fluttery
you out.
feeling.
You're doing the like peacocking,
oh,
and now
yeah.
I'm like, how much for a beer? I know what you pay for a keg, and that is offensive.
The cost per ounce
can I
is
borrow your
way
readers?
over the top here.
Why don't you
Yeah.
make the ticket like bigger? Why is the print so small?
We did. Chris and I went to a bar for a friend's birthday party, and I ordered a diet fucking Coke because they didn't have any wine that was up to my standards on the menu. And I was like, give up, Smedley. Just go home. Just go home. Like,
Meanwhile, we were like, I was very happy to stay there. I had a cocktail. I was feeling good. A lot of younger people around me, and they wanted to talk to me. I was like, this is fun. And then I was like, oh shit, it's 9:30. I got to go. Like, my kid.
we did. We turned into pumpkins at that place because we were like, we got babysitters.
But
and
I
we gotta
didn't
leave.
feel ready to leave. I was like,
No.
I was having a good time. And
No,
I was like,
wasn't because I was like, I don't.
I know.
Look,
If she doesn't have her wine choice.
You cannot, if you tried to give me a well drink, and I don't care if you are the Queen of England, I would throw that in your face. I'm
Yeah.
not drinking a well
Pop
anything.
off.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Why? I love myself. I'm not doing that to
Yeah.
myself. There's
I had
no
such an attitude.
way. You can't mix it so it tastes good.
We went to a tavern after Eleanor's graduation from 5th grade. And by the way, the entire school went to this tavern.
Yeah.
It's fancy tavern.
Adorable, yeah.
And so we all went in there, and all the parents literally were the entire bar. P.S. bar, open early. Like, we had to stand outside and wait. Like, do yourself a favor with a bunch of middle-aged people and money to spend because they've been stressed. And they're literally 5 parents looked at me and they go, I really actually need a drink. And I'm like, I'm with you. It's 11 a.m. I'm as spread thin as I can be. Like, let's get it.
Oh,
let's
funny.
Get
It's
burgers
11 a.m. I thought it was.
Well, because it started at 8 a.m. But, you know, all
yeah.
the crap that we've been doing.
Oh,
so we
God,
get in
that
line.
sounds so fun.
It was so fun. And so we got one bartender, and she's like 28, and she looks bothered by all of us old asses at the bar. And I go, hey, what do you make in a black and tan if you don't have Bass?
Oh, Bass.
You got Guinness and Bass. And she goes, we don't like really make a black and tan. I was like, oh, okay. Are we now not trending on a delicious blend
right.
of 2 different beers? Thank you, you snot. And then she goes, I mean, I guess I couldn't. I go like this as a former bartender. I go, oh no, if you don't know, then you don't know how to make it. I'll order something else.
Let me save your life, young bartender. You see that many parents come in at 11 a.m. You just start pouring beer. You set them
Put
up.
'em on the-
you put
on
them
the
on the bar.
I got
and you make-
lagers,
and
I've
you
got
do
wheats.
mimosas, and you put them up there. Let people grab. They will not care. They will pay whatever
I would
it
have
is for
pounded
that.
one of those until I got maybe my one of choice. And honestly, I would have been
blame
like,
the
I don't
manager.
care.
Honestly, your managers longer
They
in
don't
the
care.
tooth. They should have come in and been like, let's just put up there whatever. They're
Right.
going to be happier than to wait for all that
Also,
shit.
this is where I'm at in my life. 11 a.m. comes around, and I am standing in the glass door, and I can see the staff talking it, chatting it up. Don't think I haven't been there. I know what we're talking about. And I'm like this. And I catch one of their eyes, and I go, we're at 11.
Shit, tapping her watch, going, it's
Like we're at 11. And she goes, and I was like,
What did she do?
Like,
She
I
shook
know.
you off?
Kind of like, I know. And then moseyed to the door. I'm like, I have been with 160 fifth graders. We are at our edge. We are
Yeah.
spending money in your joint. Open early.
Welcome to Los Angeles. Everything's 15 minutes late. You need to like
Which
work
just makes me insane.
listen, you need to live in the Midwest. You need to work at a bar that caters to the third shift.
Right. Oh, man, they
that
open
stays
at
open
6
till
a.m.
6. Yeah. You got to listen. Then you're not fucking late. You're 1 second late.
We made that place so much money. The entire school was there. There were I'll bet there were 50 students and then
so
their parents.
fun.
It was so fun. It was a great way for everybody to decompress.
Yes.
But I'm like, and we give that place so much money because it's our
I'm
one and
sure.
only local place.
I want to go
was
there,
like,
and I live far from there.
black and tan. We don't really make those. Okay.
Can I tell?
Sorry, I don't want a skinny margarita.
Can I be scandalous?
Yes, please.
For a minute. Okay. So nothing about this is scandalous. Let me just say, like,
Can I be scandalous for a minute? And by that, I mean, can I be not scandalous
you'll see
for a
where
minute?
the scandal comes in,
Okay.
and I do think you're going to gasp a little bit when I tell you this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the beginning part, not at all scandalous. So like the last day that everybody on the PTA, and our PTA is parents, teachers, administrators. It's
Oh, is
like,
that what it stands for? I thought it was Parent Teacher Association.
that is what it is.
Oh.
But you have to have like
Administrators to
and
run
stuff
it.
like
Got
that.
it. Look at me.
So and we're everything's by the book. Like the only day we could get together for our like end of the year dinner was the last day of school. So we did that.
Yeah.
It's parents, it's teachers, it's administrators, it's all adults, and it's after school hours. So we have a dinner, which the PTA pays for. That's in the budget.
Yeah,
that's
that's
fine.
great.
We don't pay for alcohol. We pay for just food.
That's fine.
Yes, you have never met more straight up legit people than PTA members. Okay,
I can't agree more.
it's insane how by the book they are.
Yeah.
Like you lose money.
Well, because everybody thinks you're stealing all the time, so you got to have stuff
you
on
gotta
the
be
like.
beyond
You got to
up,
be
the
like,
up
look
and
at my
up. Yeah.
QuickBooks. Here's my my entries.
Here's my blood type.
Yeah,
Here's me. I don't care about HIPAA.
Yeah.
Here's everything about me, just so you know. You're disclosing stuff you don't have to just to be on
extra
the up and
safe
up,
and
right?
transparent.
Okay. So we do that. We go to an early dinner. It's the most tame thing ever. And then I actually said, let's go have drinks.
Yeah.
Let's go somewhere that's like off
And have
the
some
not
cocktails.
PTA. This
Jenny's
is
like, let's do it up right.
let's find out who has karaoke.
Yeah.
So just because this is what luck moms have, there's like 5 of us, 6 of us, a mixed group from the meeting on our own dime, on our own time,
Yeah.
going to a dive bar that I love that's by my house.
Yeah.
Turns out there is a very sad open mic night happening,
Oh no.
which we were like, I mean,
If you don't know what an open mic is where comedians who are starting out and trying to try material go and try hard.
In this
and
case,
there
it
are
was-
5 minutes. So a regular open mic should be 5 minutes each
wait,
person.
but we were going about 18,
sometimes-
20 minutes
Yeah,
per
sometimes
act this
they
time.
go rogue, and a sad person will take the mic for 18, 20 minutes, and it is worse than listening to the beginning of how something became abbreviated. It's the saddest shit you've ever been around.
and generally, it is just other performers in the audience. It's other people wanting to get their time
It's
and
the
their
movie
friends.
scene you've heard of where like somebody goes up and nobody is clapping, and you hear one person in the back like,
Woo! That's your friend from
and then
work
like
that
somebody's
came.
like
Yeah.
cleaning dishes in the bar. Like it's what you imagine it to
So
be.
there is a mixed bag in there's like people who've been doing it for a long time. They got a couple of wins. They got few jokes in their pocket, whatever.
Yeah.
But the group of us
Not
were
a
like,
fun where place to go.
we were like, oh my God, we sat too close to the stage because now we have
Now
to
you have to
listen and we
listen.
can't talk. But we had a fun time. It was not a wild time. I will show you a picture of it
Where's the scandal in this?
because someone
Oh no.
who we don't know who it was posted a picture of all of us at the table on one of the room parent threads and said, PTA
Oh no.
gone wild.
Oh, great. Is that the scandal you're living in?
Look, somebody taking a picture of you and posting it about you with, I don't know what, we can assume.
Okay, because then they're all like, there it is. the PTA is blowing our money at an open mic.
Oh my God.
They're just spending money
Trust
and
me.
loose.
I will tell you, this is what a dive bar it was. I spent $36 on 5 drinks, and I left a $10
God, I need to
tip
go
because I
there.
felt like I was annoying. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody
of my
needs to
own
lighten
dollar.
up about. I say
know
if
what?
the PTA's face down in a pile of Macallan whatever, I'm happy about it.
That's
they
what
deserve
I was
it.
saying. If you don't give me a weekend to like go do blow and like just
you should get an 8-ball in a hotel room on the PTA.
We were honestly like, you know what our end of the year dinner should be? It should be a nap where we just go to a room where it's white
I think
noise
y'all should
and
be
it's
at Burke
dark and
Williams
it's-
lobster dinner.
Yes.
But
But it was weird to have like somebody kind of not come up and say hi. We don't know who it
Oh my
was.
God, wait. It was an outsider taking a picture of you guys just loosey-goosey.
Yes. Sorry, I forgot to add that part. That's the scandalous part.
It was
we
somebody
don't
just-
know who did it.
That is weird and also kind of tattling.
Yes, right?
That is a little weird. Also, those pictures never look good of me. If somebody puts a candid photo of me and
I'll
I
show
don't
it
know
to
you're
you.
taking a picture, I am always like 7 chins
But
deep.
because it's like, it was like, you could take it as they were trying to be funny. Because
Right.
literally there's nothing going on in the photo. It's like us politely looking at a stand-up like, what the fuck?
That is
Like,
weird.
It's nothing, but it's like, what were you trying to do with that? It kind of...
Everybody knows that isn't even in a PTA. If you do something towards the PTA, it makes them look bad because everybody has a stereotype of what the PTA
I feel like I shouldn't have
is.
said that even. Should I have even said
No,
that?
it's
Is it
totally
like-
fine because I know how many hours you work doing room parent stuff, and I know how many hours the parents of our school did. Like at one point,
Because Colin could tell him.
yes. This is very sweet. So wait, we're gonna talk murder, right?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna make this fast because I really want to talk about this thing we're gonna talk about. But I do want to say, and without any, I don't want to get too emotional because I've been bawling nonstop. But my daughter and just graduated from 5th grade, and that is our, she's our youngest. So no more kids in elementary school, and I did not let myself think about it at all. But we moved to our neighborhood because of this school. And it is a school that's well known for having so much parent involvement and like working together as a community charter to like make the school really special. And it just really is. And I knew before I had kids that this school was a place that if I did have kids, we would want to go there. And so I remember like back when Eleanor was in kindergarten, you tell the story all the time. We were living in a neighborhood that didn't have very good schools.
This was a wish, and you made it happen.
We were touring, and I was like, "What's all for?" And I called Colin, and I said, "I think we should move to Studio City so we can go to this school." And literally a week later, he's like, "All right."
No, let me give you the sidebar. We were having lunch while we were on tour, and she goes, I think we want to move in Studio City so that we can go to this school. And I go, well, why don't you rent a house there? She goes, yeah. She texts Colin, and the next morning when I see her, she goes, so we put in an offer on a house.
Yeah,
and I
we
was like,
rented a
"What?
house.
Wait, what?
Yeah, and then 11 days later, we moved into Studio City. We got back from our Canadian tour, and Jen was like, I hope you have today to rest. And I was like, nope, we have a U-Haul.
Yes,
And
it was-
we went, and it from day one, it was magic. And Eleanor got to be
great.
there the whole time because Finn started at 1st grade. So Eleanor did kindergarten through 5th grade.
Yes.
And to boot, her 5th grade teacher and Finn's 5th grade teacher were the same. And she's so awesome. Her name's Miss Dorian. She like 38 kids and she operates it like it's nothing.
I know.
And
When they're good, they're good, man.
Man. And I was Finn and Eleanor are so different, and she made them both feel special in their own ways. And like Finn wanted to go visit Miss Dorian, and she let him volunteer for an entire day. I kept texting her and him going, do you want him home? Do you want him to leave? Is he driving you crazy? Is he helping? Or is he just doing smart ass shit? Because she's like, he's been great literally the whole day. So total hero. But we went to the culmination ceremony, and I was emotional on her last day of school. The culmination, I had kind of pulled myself together, and I was like, this is the ceremony. This is when
I did too. When
Also,
Dash graduated,
you know-
I cried at the award ceremony because I was like, oh, this is like
I
you
had
have
come to terms
emotions
with
tied to it.
that
kinda.
we were leaving, right? But
Oh yeah.
that it was I kind of just said, just go and enjoy this day. And like, I don't like to publicly cry because if I just let myself cry, it might look good, but because I fight crying, it looks like I'm being like tortured. Like my face is so like whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and the kids are doing all these really awesome dances and programs and they're singing and whatever. It's a real celebration. I'm fine. And then our very hunky, very attractive, very charming superintendent who we've all, and my husband included,
listening. Yeah.
fallen
I met
in love
him.
with for years. He's been like Mick Jagger, and we go to the school and then I started to think about him and that we wouldn't see him.
My face is doing Mick Jagger.
I know, not
That's
Mick Jagger, but
okay.
you know, like he's just like
He's a sex object.
he's like
just
Brad
bring it.
Pitt of principles.
Okay. That makes it a little bit more
and
my
he's not super into me, so that
generation.
makes it even more sexy.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking about like all these years. So I'm sitting there, and he starts to speak, and he's like, "I'd like to bring the attention to a special person who, from in the last better part of a decade, has given." This many hours, 6 months of writing the charter, volunteering at Beautification Day every week. And I was like, in my head, I was like, well, that's Colin, my husband. That's him. And then and he was like, I've become very good friends with this person. And I was like, oh, we're friends now. Great. And then he's like, he started the 3-on-3 basketball tournament, all this. And he's like, and I'm also so proud to say that he just graduated with his graduate degree to become a teacher. And they have him stand up and the whole school gives him a round of applause. And I lose it. And I'm not, it's not even, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm like, and I just thought it was.
You could just feel it.
I was so ugly crying that like I could feel people handing me tissues from different things. But that was a real highlight of, Eleanor did 2-person stand up and crushed it. With her
at
friend.
the graduation?
Yeah.
That's an elaborate graduation.
It was a lot
Ours
of time.
was so
this
like
is why
military.
we needed the bar after. I guess,
for
I have
sure.
emotional road rash. I am cooked. But it was wonderful to see Colin get, because he's been working really hard. He's not in the spotlight a lot.
It's nice
I'm not
to
easy.
see people see it. Like
Totally. And he felt so honored, and like he got choked up, and then I was choked up, and then it was so special. And then afterwards, everybody kept hugging. And then I was like, oh, right, because we don't come back here.
Yeah.
Then what I love about elementary school, and if you're in there right now, I would say this is the thing that I will miss the most, is the noise of the playground. It's so wonderful and beautiful that it's worth all the hard stuff. It's worth all the hard parts of being an elementary parent. But if you are, just enjoy like the noise of it, because as they go to middle school, it's just different. The noise is different. It's a little bit more serious. There's bigger things at stake. But like elementary noise is kindergarten noise to 5th grade noise to like, and
the naughtiness is all laughable in elementary school.
It is. And they're like, perfect example. I was in the office, and our little neighbor kid, his name is Kai, walked through, and they were doing summer birthday celebration. And so these kindergartners come through and just kill me. They're such babies.
Oh my God.
And Kai sees me and goes, and like waves and wants to hug me, but he can't get out of line. So I gave him just a high five. And then his 3 other buddies gave me high fives just because I was dishing out high fives. And I'm like, I think I need more love in my life.
I do. I love going up to our school.
You wait.
I know.
When Delilah.
I'm already filling out job applications. I'm like, how am I not going to be up here? I have no idea.
It's such a part of your life, and when it changes, you're ready. But you have to have a moment to say, "Oh man,
I know
this part."
I'm not ready. Well, luckily,
you're not there because she's a 3rd grader.
I got 2 years left, which I'm going to relish every moment, and I can appreciate it now too, with like Dash moving on to middle school. But like, when I'm up at the school, I smile ear to ear. There are these naughty twins that one of them's always outside because he gets kicked out of class, and he's like the hall monitor. He's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
I'm like, "What are you doing,
time.
bud?" Yeah, God, they're so cute. I love them so much.
I know, and it's a wonderful time of parenting. Even though when you're in the grind, you're like, "Oh, they're always asking for money. Oh my gosh, there's another permission slip. Oh, I got to pack lunches, or I got to." But you know what? It's good. It's really good.
Here's why I think it is. Here's why I think elementary school is really lovely, is everybody is so invested in their child, and it like spreads onto other kids.
Totally.
Like, other parents are looking out for your kids. I have to imagine that once they get into middle school, it's very different.
feels
like
very
it's
different.
very disconnected.
Yeah.
And they're so worried about their own kid that they can't be worried. But it's like when they're younger, you can be like, oh, I was worried about this kid's birthday, so I just did a birthday thing for everybody in the classroom. That doesn't happen as they get older.
Well, in middle school, it's different because as a parent, they want you to be a little more hands off because at this point, the rubber meets the road and they got to like develop these kids into, you know, they're going to be
that.
I know, but you will because Dash will want you to do that. And like when with Finn, it was kind of like we're just kind of looking at from the outside in and seeing if all of this stuff that we've built is working. And so far it's working, but you feel like such a loss of the childlike thing, the little kid thing. And they are kids and they're dorks and it's great. Middle school has its shiny parts too.
Yeah.
I know everybody craps on it. It is mostly a dumpster fire, but there is like fun to be had. But when they're babies and the babies are babies, the friends are babies, and everybody says and does funny stuff, I lose it. So I told you, we're getting back to this thing. I did Career Day, and it was. Should I talk about that? I can talk about it real fast.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Okay. So because it's Eleanor's 5th grade year, and I've missed some stuff because of just being on the road and whatnot, I was like, I'm going to do Career Day. Because I thought it would be talk in front of a classroom of kids about what you do, and that would be it. But,
and also, can I say it's cool, like, that a mom does what you do? Like, you are a mom who does things that moms have been told they can't do.
Right. I thought it would be a really nice thing for Eleanor to see me at the school do Career Day. But then I realized I had to do like a, what do you call it, PowerPoint. And the teachers were like, you know, they've got it like dialed in. And they were like, you get this much time.
Giving you a light at 4 minutes.
Yeah, they're giving you a light. Yeah, you're at a open mic. Go work your material. Yeah. So I go, oh God, I've talked for 15 minutes. Okay, it's just one class. And she goes, no, it's 5 classes. And I was like, wait, what? How? What? There's 158 5th graders. I'm like, good God. So I prepared me. I was very nervous about it. So I like over prepared. And then the teacher was like, if you have something that you can give away, like they love that. And I'm sure if a banker came in and they gave a pen from the bank, they were like, this is because it's elementary school. They're like, this is the greatest pen I've ever been given.
Keychains.
So guys, I start deep diving. I'm like, okay, I'll show them a video. Do you want to know how many videos you can show a 5th grade class of the videos we do? Not many.
Yeah.
So I showed them the first video where you forgot Delilah's name, and they went crazy, thought it was so funny. But you want to know where I hooked them? Because Jen told me, she goes, take this and show it to the class. And I was like, I don't know, man. I got a couple books in here. I got People Magazine. I got like stuff. And she goes, nope, show them this. So in the first time I do the thing, Eleanor's in the room and I'm nervous and I'm like showing them the video and it's not coming out very clearly. And I go, well, we started out on Facebook, but we also were like on YouTube, and YouTube sent us this, and I brought out a plaque that has a play button. It's a silver plaque from YouTube that you get when you get a certain number of subscribers. And you might have thought, like, there it is. I am now Beyonce.
Yeah.
Their heads exploded. They were like, whoa, no way. One of them was like, let's go. They were like, woo, woo. And I was like, this plaque, and I sent it around. It's called a play button plaque. They lost their minds.
The only thing my kids have ever appreciated, ever.
It was so fun. And then at the end, I gave them all we had. That I was like, I can't give them a koozie, can't give them a wine key, can't give them. And so I had bumper stickers, and I was like, don't put this on your car. Like, it'll stick. Like,
yeah.
Give this to your mom and give her a hug. And I gave away 100 bumper stickers, which was just a great way to finish 5th grade. And Eleanor told me that the kids really liked what I talked about. And then Colin said that kids were coming up to him talking about mom comedy.
Kristin, it's so great. And you will never give yourself this credit, but like Kristin's going to make work happen. Like you're somebody who's like, here's what I want to do with my life and I'm going to figure out how to do it. And you're the perfect person to talk to fifth graders, especially girls, especially when people are fucking giving messages like there's only one way you can make your life accomplished, is that like you're going to make stuff happen. And like that energy is good for kids to see and be like, okay, I'm just going to go out and work hard with a good idea and see what happens.
That's why I said we didn't care about views. We didn't care about likes. We just wanted to make moms feel better about what they were doing. That was it. That's how we thought about it. How do we make them laugh? How do we make them feel better? And I was like, then it became this. Then it became this. We didn't know how to edit. We didn't know what. And then I was like, and then Tic Tac became a thing. And they were like, oh, but they loved it. And it was a perfect bow on the end of a busy life of K through 5. And that's why we needed the tavern to open 30 minutes early. Do you guys see what I was?
My God,
There's been a lot going on. There's been a lot going on.
That's why I had to go to that Saturday mic night.
We are saying goodbye to elementary school, but definitely feeling love, but also excitement. For
so can I kind of circle back about how this is all fucking related?
Yeah.
So as me and the PTA moms,
that's amazing,
educators, whatever, are leaving the pub at 8:30 or whatever it was. Like
who's taking pictures of you? That's
right.
Really?
Okay. Some guy who's doing the open mic night goes, he's outside smoking. He's trying to impress people who are outside smoking, having, drinks in the outside area. He goes, ho, soccer moms.
Oh boy.
And I went up to him like 2 feet in front of his face, which is never expected, and which is why I like to do it, because I am 5 solid feet of talk shit.
Well, I wouldn't mess with you if you're in the zone.
I was like, oh, what are you here for? He's like, for the open mic night. And I was like, you should look me up.
Yeah.
I never fucking do that, but I go, you should look me up.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? Why? And I'm like, I don't do open mic night.
Oh my God.
So fucking soccer mom.
Yeah, fuck you, buddy.
Try to belittle me.
Yeah, as I walk out. Look at soccer mom. Also, like, that's a bad thing, motherfucker. Who else is going to bring snacks?
Like, these people I were with were the only ones who gave any respect to the people up on stage. So much so that when we started talking about, I go, I want to go to that place on Fairfax called The Dime that has the 90s R&B. The person on stage, the stand-up on stage, stopped and goes, wait, what are you guys talking about? Because if we weren't paying attention, you couldn't. Nobody was.
Yeah.
So and it became a part of her stand-up. Yeah. Was talking about that place.
Well, if you're a good stand-up, right? You do that, yeah.
Totally. Like, and I was like,
sorry, is that snotty?
No, she did so great with it because she made fun. She's like, you got to dance like this because it's so packed. Like everybody's standing like side by side. But I was like, we're the only people respecting you guys. And when we walk out, you're going to fucking try and belittle us? Yeah. No, son, you're not.
Yeah.
I was mad.
Well, I think it's more weird that somebody took a picture of you without you knowing.
I think so too, I know.
Well, here's the point.
Never going to be braggy about anything, but it's like, you're going to belittle what I do.
Yeah, also, you never know who people are. I'll tell you right now.
Because I could have hired that guy too. Yeah.
Our room parents, I'm like, I have zero doubt they could run a brand. They could run a studio. They could run for our government.
And you guys, sometimes they do in LA.
Could run it all. And what they choose to do is run the school. So I put the PTA or any of those different programs that the school needs that one person that's consistently showing up. And I say, that person is choosing to use her skills to make this entire school better. So she's the queen. And at our school, they got a standing ovation because I think that there's that I can't give 40 hours a week. I can't do it.
No.
But the people that do are all of our kids benefit. All of them.
It's so much. I do think our school has started to really take note of it because there are 3 moms, they're not me, that are up there always.
You're up there all the time. You are always putting up chairs and decorating shit. I'm like, oh,
man, I was up there yesterday because there was just loose ends that needed tied up and stuff like that. But I'm not there as much as some of them are. Like some of them, they literally should be on the payroll. I think it's a crime that they aren't, like, or that that's not possible.
I just think it's like something that we have to keep in mind when we want to be critical is say like don't complain about getting too many emails. That person's making that email for a reason. And like that, I feel like it's all in a spirit of making something better. Like be a little bit gracious. Like I think we could do that in general, sort of say like, okay, yeah, we get a lot of emails from this person because we need to go to these different events, but the events are happening and that's really exciting. And they wouldn't happen if I did it.
I mean, somebody gets up at 6:30 a.m.
to form an email.
Yeah.
I promise that's not going to the right people. I have yet to text the right people. I can't get dates right.
Literally, after that night, we go out. There's somebody who goes and gets bagels for the teachers at 6:30 in the morning. I mean, and we were talking about this earlier today too, that like who you are, like how you treat everyone in the universe says so much about you.
Yep.
That if you aren't treating people like, okay, let me say it. I said it backwards. You should treat everybody the same, whether they can help you or not.
Right.
Whether you feel like you are a step above them or below them,
right,
says everything about you. It's like why when you're dating, if you're going out with somebody and they talk shit to the waiter,
be done.
Be done.
Do not put out.
Yeah.
Do
not put out.
Do not.
If they're not a good tipper, they're not a generous spirit.
Yeah, they don't get the hoo-ha.
He is going to come first.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Sorry.
It's
the
sorry,
truth,
not
though,
sorry.
right?
You're not going to feel good about that. And in your head,
you know it.
In your head, you're like, I saw that's like 13%.
I know.
Can't do that.
No, I know. That's
don't give
generous.
Don't give 100% if he's only giving 13%. You know what I'm saying? Can't do that. Can't do that. Don't do that, girl. Okay. So I've derailed us as I tend to do. But we're very excited about this.
We want to make a recommendation.
Okay.
Oh my God. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. So we've got a murder thing that we're really into right now. For
Here's
so many
how
reasons.
you know that Jen and I have both watched the same murder documentary, because I'd like to just set the stage. Jen could be on the other side of an auditorium and we could catch eyes and we will minnow and shark through that crowd to get to each other and start right in the middle. And by the time we have found each other in the middle, I already know that we have watched the same thing.
Yes.
She's like, did you? And I'm like, yes.
Did you watch
Yes.
Okay.
And then there is no chance that anything else will be discussed.
No.
For the every second we have that we're being forced to do other things, we're going, but he went to this place and said this to this girl, and then
You got to watch this because it has everything that we love besides it's a serial killer.
Right.
It has survival, which we fucking love too.
And some real questions, but which we can really unpack. Okay, tell them the name of this.
It's the Beauty Queen Killer.
Yep.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah, is it Hulu or Netflix? It's Hulu, right?
Hulu. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's about Christopher Bernard Wilder, also known as the Beauty Queen Killer.
Always
and
3 names on every serial
snapshot.
killer.
You know why it is? Did we talk about this?
I think it's because of identification, right?
Yeah, so they don't go and
get the wrong person.
Back in the days when we were all into like vigilante justice, we make sure that you know exactly who it is.
Yeah, if they're like, I'm Theodore John Bundy. I'm not that Ted Bundy.
Theodore. I never thought of his name being Theodore.
Barf.
Okay. So also known as the Snapshot Killer, Australian-American serial killer who abducted at least 12 young women and girls, killing 8 of them during a 6-week cross-country crime spree in the U.S. in early 1984. So this particular version of it, which I love, follows the story of Tina Risico, who was abducted at 16 years old and survived with him for 9 days. But it tells the story of all of the abductions along with her. And it's
so compelling.
It's riveting, and God bless this woman. She is.
Well, I think the thing that is interesting and what you will see on the trailer is because this girl survived for 9 days when he was so quick to kill the other victims, there was a question mark as to whether or not she was actually an accomplice or if she was actually a victim, which now obviously for what we know and how psychology works, there's like, it's an example of like Stockholm syndrome, and also that let's unpack it. Okay. So let's talk about how he finds the girls.
Okay, so and I feel like I have if it's not this story, I've heard other versions of people doing this where they're like, you are beautiful. I'm a photographer. I want to take your picture.
Here's how you get to murder me. I'm 14. I'm at the mall, probably with my mom. And I probably have the Conestoga Mall in Grand Island. And I just got out of Learner.
A dweeby t-shirt.
Yeah, I'm just getting out of
Spencer's.
Learner's where I was allowed to get a nice culotte, nothing too fancy.
Below
and a
the knee.
rando comes up to me. I don't know how he would do this because my mom was always next to me, which is why she's, a good mom.
Yeah.
She walked up to me. He would walk up to me and go, you are so beautiful. You could be a model. And then I would say, should we go to the woods where you can take pictures of me alone and probably kill me? That seems like a good idea.
Let's go to a secluded location where no one can hear me scream.
There's no faster way to entrap me than to tell me I have the potential of being a model, because it is
every girl.
It's a weird thing, and we're not being honest if we don't say like that would snare you. And if it wouldn't, you are in fact a model. Like if that compliment seems fake to you,
if
you are beautiful.
If some guy goes up to you and says that, and you don't go, look me up, man. Look me up.
Yes, look me up. If you're not already, you're in the game.
Yeah.
You're on
you got
cover
nothing
of
to prove.
Vogue.
You got nothing to prove. I know.
Yeah.
But for most girls, the idea of anybody telling you you're beautiful,
that you stand out. Yes.
It's very appealing. Even in so this is the 80s where it was even more important. Like even like now, I feel like my daughter would like giggle and blush about it, but she would also like it wasn't like
mall culture was a thing.
It was a
which
thing.
we forget. Like back in the day before stranger
were everything back then too.
Yes, and stranger danger was not a thing. And you would go to the mall, and it was a place where like young, beautiful 80s, like 1980s kids would hang out, and they're like 14. They know not what they do, and that was their like. Their atrium was where they would hang out. So this guy is not a dummy. He's like, I'm going to go where the kids hang out, and I'm going to go find these girls, and I'm going to tell them they're beautiful. I'm going to show them the footage that he is working at a beauty pageant. Are we spoiling too much?
No. It's the beauty pageant killer. It like goes over that in the first episode.
But the fact that he is in fact, the thing is, he is in fact a
photographer,
successful photographer.
Yeah.
And he has been at beauty pageants where he is taking pictures of these stunning girls. So like, he could literally show you a book of the photographs he's taken.
This is the Ted Bundy thing of it all. Like, he wasn't a homeless guy at 7-Eleven.
No, man.
He had a good life, a good car, good house.
Yeah.
And he was charming.
He did online not online dating, but those like dating tapes, which if you watch it, you're like, you're such a creep. But you don't know, they probably weren't doing it as well.
My mom got married one time that way. like it was, people did that. People did that back then. It was a thing.
But he was like, hi, my name's Barb. It's such a different time. Think of what technology shows us now.
Yeah.
And we think, how dumb could you be? Well, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have like interstate connection between evidence. There was no
you guys, think of this. If it were the 80s and your family didn't watch the news, do you even know that they're serial killers? You don't know. You might have heard of one like years ago or something, but literally without the internet, and there were so many families that didn't watch the 10 o'clock news. They went to bed early, so you didn't know stuff like that.
It gave that serial killer such time to get away with it, like hours.
You didn't even know to look out for it back then.
So let's go back to her.
Okay.
So because I think this is so interesting. What's her first name again?
Tina.
Tina is this young, beautiful blonde, kind of a troubled upbringing.
Yeah. Her mom was a drug addict.
Mom was a drug addict raised by her grandparents. Like, all things considered, she was very beautiful, but she'd had a tough go. She had survived sexual assault and abuse and had lived a tough life, but was also doing pretty well in her own life. She was just a kid.
And I hope she's doing okay now. You can just see in her eyes that.
Right. So she gets taken. So she goes to the mall. And this guy says the thing to her that he has said to all these girls, which is, I think you're beautiful. You could be a model. Let me take pictures of you.
Yeah.
And then he takes her, right?
Yeah.
And then
she goes with him. They go out to like a grassy area or the
she
woods.
said, I wish I would have, I knew in my gut that I shouldn't be getting into the car with this man. And I wish I would have listened.
Yep.
But you know what? I think we are too hard to blame ourselves and to blame human behavior as the cause of why something bad happened to you. Sometimes it is hard to be impolite. Sometimes it's hard to be like,
especially because it's exactly why
it's really
Harvey
hard.
Weinstein did what he did.
You find yourself in a situation and you're like, I'm a sitting duck. I'm scared shitless. I'm a deer in the headlights. I'm just going to wait for this to end.
And you don't think anybody's going to do a horrible thing until they do it. And when they're doing it, you can't believe it's happening.
And then it's over and you feel shame.
Yeah.
Because you feel like you had all the time in the world in the brain to say, I shouldn't be here. But you know what? That's not how trauma or abuse or someone victimizing you works. It's not.
I think she is blameless. And thank God that the police like the Torrance police and stuff, when she was saved, that they knew right away. Like,
well, let's back up a little bit because he takes her.
Yeah.
And then
this has spoilers. If you want to watch it,
this has spoilers. But the thing that made her case different is that he had killed so many. He would go into the mall, he would find a girl, he would murder them within
like right away.
Day and a half. But he was known for driving long distances. So he gets this girl, she gets in the car, and in her interview, she said, I knew just not to talk back. I just didn't say anything. Because
of her horrible
trauma responses. Yeah. She was like, I am a victim right now. I'm going to do what I've always done.
Survive.
I'm going to wait for this to be over. I'm going to survive it. So she was amiable. She was quiet. But then let's not bury the lead. He raped her. He tortured her. He kept her in a disgusting hotel room. And the reason why they started to think maybe she was in on it is because he had then convinced her to go into the mall and find a girl. And then she brought one out, but he
was watching her the entire time.
He was watching her the entire time.
She could have escaped at times. There were times when she was telling the story,
following him in a car.
I would have tried. He probably would have killed me. But like,
also we all go, you know what I would have done? Yeah. I would have left and ran, and you're like, but you don't know what kind of absolute fear. Your brain is not operating. You're in the upside down. Did you think this was how your Tuesday was going to end up?
Also, she's probably not eating. She's
not eating.
No part of her is being taken care of.
And so he has her with him for 9 days in the car. And at the very last moment, he gives her money and a plane ticket. And she flies back to the San Diego area, right? And it makes perfect sense to me. She's like, I'm soiled. I'm disgusting. I haven't showered. I have his smell on me. She goes into a store and everybody's been looking for her.
Yeah.
She goes into a store and they immediately recognize her and she is buying underwear and a bra. But she's acting in a bizarre manner because they're like, why wouldn't you be running into the arms of a police officer? And she says the thing that I think makes perfect sense. She goes, the second I made myself known, my life would never be the same.
Yeah.
And so she was kind of hiding for a second, you think they were going to take care of a victim?
That was the thing that
they're going to put her picture on everything.
The thing that I got from her, from her story in a way that I don't know that I've ever gotten from another story is that in her world, no one is safe. If mom is not safe, your grandparents aren't safe. What stranger's safe? You're never safe if you are her.
She's only got herself.
Absolutely. So I really understood that in that moment from her. Yeah. That she just wanted to go back to life being fine.
And she had that sweet boyfriend that I think she just thought, I survived it, now I can go back.
Yeah.
I did my part, I survived, and I can go back. And the bullshit blaming that came her way was so emblematic
media
of
speculation, stuff like that.
She gets to have her moment in this documentary, which I really appreciate because they were showing, gosh, this is going to come out no matter how I say it, but she used the shitty circumstances that she had grown up with to be the thing that ultimately kept her alive.
Yeah.
So had she not endured, she would not have known how to do that.
No.
And she made it out when 14 other women did not. And they also have a trail of bodies in Australia that they think are his.
Yeah.
So she survived. And I think that is, she didn't go on to have this like ticker tape parade and great life. She is, you can see from the documentary, she is troubled, and
She didn't survive out of heroism.
no, she wasn't like, gosh, I have this like
I'm going to
great life.
overtake him and whatever.
This is going to be a Lifetime movie.
Unfortunately, she just learned from an early age how to survive the most horrible situations. And so she did.
Yeah, we should celebrate her, I think.
Yeah, I thought she was awesome.
How did they end up finding him?
Credit cards.
Is that right?
They found, so, but credit cards took a while back then,
That's right, you guys.
2 days behind. You were always 2 days behind the
Do you remember your mom ever using a credit card?
knuckle buster thing. Yeah.
No wonder everybody was like, let's commit crimes. It
You know
takes
what?
forever.
I'm going to write a check at every gas station. He knew that you weren't supposed to use your credit card at a gas station. You were supposed to pay cash, so then they couldn't track you where you were.
Yeah.
God, he was like
He went all over the country in that stupid car.
Yeah, and then he stole the car.
Well, he
that
killed
one.
a woman.
That mom. Too.
I know.
Fuck you. You kill anybody. You're but a mom.
You go, and she was not the
Sunday
normal
school teacher.
Yeah, he picked her because he wanted her car, which was unlike him. He had started to become outside of his normal killing pattern, which is just someone who's going to. And then super spoiler, guys, super spoiler, but nothing better than when this asshole is sitting in his car and decides he's going to off himself, and he does it wrong, and he shoots a hole through his arm, and then that bullet hits a cop, and then he finally does. He had to shoot himself twice. I'm just saying, for at least a little, for a little while, he was in pain, and that makes me feel better, which I know is not Catholic of me.
I think it's pretty Catholic.
Is it pretty Catholic?
Yeah, he's got to suffer a little bit.
Yes.
I
would like him to suffer a lot.
So much of it. Oh my God. Yeah. The rage that goes, ultimately, was it justice? Because he did off himself, but
I don't know. I think the justice is that she's living, and she is.
There's a couple of them that survived him.
Yeah, that survived him because he had met them at the pageants and stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's some of them they haven't found still that they know he got.
But this is the stuff we talk about. Is this not the stuff we talk about as moms? Like, you want to just play it all out.
You guys forget Hot Girl Summer. Let's have this be Murder Girl Summer. Ooh. Let's just talk about our favorite. Send them to us. You can leave it in the reviews. Send us the ones we haven't heard of that we need to pay attention to. Because
I think my dream.
I've gone through Netflix. I'm done with it.
I feel like I had to take a murder break because I found myself going, I know about this one. I've heard 4 different versions of it. I'm like, you're insensitive. You're becoming callous to murder.
I know. When you've heard every version. Night Stalker, I've heard every which way but up about that. I'm like,
yeah, I go through the Netflix deck and I'm like, what am I doing with my time?
I know. That's my husband. He goes to bed before me. He goes, have fun with your murders. I'm like,
I really do. And
you know what else I'm doing? I'm on Pinterest. So meet me on the dichotomy, okay? I've got both things going on.
I'm going to end this podcast with this thought because you're going to find this hilarious.
Okay.
So my son and I I allow him to watch certain true crime shows because I think it's a good introduction and it's the thing we share and we get along doing it. So it's generally like 2020 or Dateline, and we have rules. Nothing with kids, nothing with try to avoid sexual assault. Even though any girl that is abducted, that seems to be the thing that happens.
Yeah, thanks, Twilight. I'm learning that.
Right.
Episode 3.
Right.
Dang it.
Right. But my son and I, so when Eleanor is either at camp or somewhere, we watch true crime together. And we have started creating a true crime musical between the two of us. So we have a song that we sing between the two of us. And then Finn adds verses and I add verses. And then we cuddle and watch true crime. What is my life? We're like, did she do it? He do it? Who did it? I don't know. Is there luminol? Like, it's fantastic. And it's my favorite thing.
I see luminol.
I can't go that high because I don't have a soprano voice. But yeah, true crime, man.
See, the whole family can get on board with it.
Eleanor's like, absolutely not. I want to watch Community. And I'm like, good, stay sweet.
Oh my gosh. Well, Delilah, she's a good mix because she wants to watch vampires. Just kind of
Fair.
samesies, right?
We went through a big vampire, like that was a thing, right?
What my daughter goes, I like Edward because he's cute and he's so nice to Bella, but like actually it's more like this. So Edward is so nice to Bella and he's really super cute, but he's bad because he kills people.
But that makes him attractive because
I know.
she could be out with him and like somebody said something wrong to her and then he just would kill them.
I know. But that's what we have said. Like that's Ted Bundy's whole thing, man. Don't be charmed by people, man. You don't want good looking and charming. You want funny and a little bit heavy.
And that's who I married. If that
Me
isn't
too.
the way I introduce my husband to everybody, sure, he's
that's the
talking
way to
about
keep yourself safe, ladies.
the way abbreviations came about, or the endless conversation of why gerrymandering is
Still
a
curious.
thing, and just any of those other tasks that I think he's testing our marriage. I think he's like, she has to stay in this. I'm going to talk about this subject, and I'm like, I want to. This is
You know what?
not going to get you laid.
That's going to be our next T-shirt. Fat and funny.
Fat
That's
and
what
funny,
you want, guys.
That's what you
Keep
want.
it safe. I think we podcast.
I think we podcasted.